1/4 of the population have used illegal drugs. There are 750,000 abortions every year. 9 out of 10 have viewed porn on the internet. 1 out of 10 females have been raped. 40% of us have inflicted self-injury. 65% say there is no true religion. With so many questions and so few answers for such a time as this.
Hi, welcome again to Such a Time as This. We're back.
Yes.
Hope y'all have enjoyed all the times we've been with you, and I hope we've been informative. Well, we have Vicki, we have Harriett, and today we have somebody new, Betty Samuel Moore. And guess what we're going to talk about today? Submission.
Yes.
Oh, what a bad word, submission. Now that seems like, especially to women, you mention submission, or to anybody, it's like, wow. But you know what? Betty has wrote a book called Darling, Love Me into Submission.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about so many different things here, different topics and everything. So one thing I want to start with, and as you know, that if you follow this show for any length of time, we can start with something, but we usually end up with something else. But I'm going to ask Betty. Betty, what made you decide to write this book, Darling, Love Me into Submission?
Well, I have been teaching women about relationships for a long time from a spiritual perspective, as them having a great relationship with God and how to develop that. And yet, in order for them to have a relationship with a man, they must know who they are in God. And when God changed my method of teaching women, then he told me to write a book on submission. And I was like, God, do you really want me to write a book
on submission?
Of all people, because people say that I'm not submissive to my husband. They always used to tell me that I had control over my husband. But I learned that there was a method to the madness. When you think you are in control, then it causes him to become stubborn and rebellion and not do anything that you want him to do.
Oh, you're speaking now, girl.
Yeah.
So, women, did you get this? Wait, we got to kind of dissect what you just said. So when I think I'm in control, then it calls a man to be rebellion and stubborn. That's what's wrong.
Right. Now we know. Now we know. Yeah.
Because what he does.
Well, I thought it was just a man thing. I thought it was the right side of the brain or something. Oh, wow. Okay.
He has the tendency to back away and not listen at all. So then you think you're in this relationship all by yourself. But if we understood the principle that God has ordained, it told us that we should submit one to another according to the book of Ephesians. And a lot of times women have come up thinking that they don't have to submit, because submit is often seen as a negative word.
Yeah.
And in actuality, it's not. Submission actually means to get under, to submit, to just to walk into humility. With that purpose of knowing, if I'm in a relationship, I always like to be beside a man, with him embracing me. So submission, to me, it means that that's an opportunity for him to embrace me intimately.
I understand this, but then I'm going to take another route. And you said for women to be underneath. That goes back to saying that women is subservient. I mean, if they, but I know you don't mean it like that.
Of course, not.
Yeah, I know that.
I mean it to the point when you are in an intimate relationship, you become so close with that person that you want to be so close to them, as if I can use this analogy, with husband and wife intimately together behind closed doors. And occasionally she may like to be on top, but generally speaking, we're under. And what we are doing is allowing him to receive the fulfillment of that gratification, knowing that we're going to receive something mighty wonderfully from that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
that's good. I mean, you know,
that
I'm not.
good.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah.
I've never. I mean, you know, when you said underneath, my mind really went in that area.
Of course,
so
right.
I'm glad you did that. But a lot of people, like Vicki, you were saying out there. Okay, I see you give me that eye. No, you were saying that you did not like the word submission, because submission can not only be used as a husband and wife, but it can be used in a broad category too.
Correct.
Yes.
You know, with other people.
With other
and when you
people,
think
right.
of submission, my mind goes to control.
Control.
So what were you saying out there before the show?
I said I dislike that word a lot, only because of my situation. But you know, as I'm thinking about it, there's culture involved. There's culture involved.
That's true.
And within the culture, then there's the personalities involved. So this is what you don't take an independent person and say, you do as I tell you to do because I'm the boss and I'm in control. You know, I'm in control. Those words were used. And it's like, wait a minute, you got the wrong girl here.
Yeah.
I don't go for that. That's a lot of nonsense to me. I do not jump because somebody says jump. I don't say how high. I will say why. Why do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
So, but submission to me now, I mean, I don't mean today, but in years gone by, it's that oneness. If you're allowed that. I don't want to get too deep into this because it's negative, but when there's other people trying to control your life, your married life, then you start shying away. It's like, you know, you're not going to tell me what to do, how to do it, when to do it, or anything like that. Now I want to bring out another point. That's between husband and wife. We had a Bible study on submission, and it was children to parents. Now, what if the parent is giving wrong instructions? Should the child, as long as that person is living under mom and dad's roof, under the age of 19, should that person be submissive? And I brought out the question, I brought out the statement that we had in our church. This is years ago up in New York. It was a young lady